Hey guys, what's up? How you guys doing today? Welcome to another episode of the Power Up Podcast. Some stuff that I found intriguing happening in the old pop culture world that I figured, why not? Let's take a gander, take a look, because oh man, so many things are happening. But if you're new to the show, and you find it interesting and fun, feel free to hit that subscribe button and smash that thumbs up and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live, whether it's the Power Up Podcast show, either solo or with a guest, or me gaming. You can always check me out there. Watch me play games, get really salty. We're on YouTube and Rumble right now, but in the descriptions, there are other social medias listed. And if you want to go beyond helping the algorithm just by pushing it, you can always check out to see how to actually support the channel through subscriptions and membership tiers. Anyway, so yeah, I was snooping around just looking at some topics that caught my fancy. We'll start off mildly light right now, and that's with the Nintendo Switch because I guess it's added some new games on the subscription tier that you can get, like Super Nintendo and Nintendo games here. Let's see. Share the screen. There we go. From good old Niche Gamer. Niche Gamer is dope. Oop. Here, let's switch to that. Gotta look fancy. In any case, Nintendo Switch Online adds Wrecking Crew 98 and more. Has anyone ever played Wrecking Crew? Oh my gosh, Wrecking Crew. I can't even talk because I have not. I'm sure that the old whiskey isn't helping either, but I mean, it's my first glass. But anyway, so Nintendo has announced a new batch of games coming to Nintendo Switch Online this month with various classics from the Super Nintendo. And let's see, according to this is from April 11th, but I have been seeing still some articles talking about this too, so I wanted to check it out. I grew up with the Sega Genesis, so I didn't have a Super Nintendo, so I didn't really play a lot of the Super Nintendo classics, I guess you could say. Not, I mean, I don't know what. I never played Wrecking Crew before, so I don't know if people consider that a classic or not. But my one of my childhood friends, every couple weeks or so, when we would go to church, we would actually do a console swap, meaning I would bring my Sega Genesis and a bunch of games. He would bring his Super Nintendo and a bunch of games, and we would, trade consoles for the time being. Sure saved money than renting it, but we did rent consoles back in the day too. So that's kind of how I played Super Nintendo games. But apparently, we're getting some various classic games from the Super Nintendo. Here's a rundown on the games now available for Nintendo Switch Online. So we got Wrecking Crew 98. Mario picks up his Wrecking Crew hammer in this action puzzler, previously only available in Japan. Okay. I was going to say, like, I didn't really see this one, so it's a Japanese only one back in the day. In this game, you can play either the original Wrecking Crew or the updated Wrecking Crew 98, each version featuring its own challenges to puzzles through. Wreck your way across 100 stages as Mario in Wrecking Crew and dodge enemies while knocking down walls and ladders. Then outwreck the competition in Wrecking Crew 98 by destroying and arranging panels to line up matching colors. Clear 4 or more panels at once to launch an attack on your opponent. The more panels you clear, the more powerful your attack. You have what it takes to bring the hammer down and claim victory. Very nicely written. Okay, Super R-Type I am familiar with. I think that's kind of like your side scroller run and gun sort of games. I think I actually have this too. But anyway, do I have Super R-Type? I'd have to look back. I feel like I did, but I think I sold it because I was like, I don't see myself playing this game a whole lot. So Galactic Battle begins. The evil Baidu empire of mutant extraterrestrials is back and posed We're poised to launch a new attack on Earth. Only the revolutionary R9, the planet's most advanced form of defense, stands between it and certain doom. Fight through seven challenging stages against foes with advanced firepower, picking up power-up items as you progress. I mean, I do like these games. I played Aerial Fighter. I loved Aerial Fighter. That's a really good game. Hey, Komonga, what's up? Over on YouTube. How's it going? We're just chilling, reading some articles here that caught my eye. Let's see. For taking on powerful level bosses, you'll need lightning reflexes and a big dose of cosmic luck to hold your own. Luckily, several difficulty options are available to adjust the experience from novice all the way up to the ultimate challenge of Pro Mode R. Are you ready to battle across the vast frontiers of space? I don't know, maybe. Okay, Super R type I am familiar with. Let's see. I have another article here too that might actually have the trailers. We can play them, but we'll have to mute it because it's Nintendo. They don't give a crap about copyright. Oh no, it's right here. So, an amazing Hebereki, developed by Sunsoft and originally released for the Super Famicom in 1994, Amazing Hebereki is about to make its US debut. Oh, okay. So engage in cute and chaotic battles in single player mode or with up to 4 players in verse mode. Select your character, then tussle on stage, littered with items and traps to make use of or fall victim to. Unleash the character's special attack and try to be the last one standing. What's up, Ted Cruz? I had a SNES and never knew this game existed till this game's announcement. Well, I think 2 of them never came over to the US, but R-Type did because I could swear I have R-Type. I could literally walk right over there and do it, but I'm too lazy. The Japanese version of the Nintendo Switch Online is added. Wait, just the Japanese version? Well, that's kind of bullshitty. So wait, the US just doesn't get anything? And this says this says they're getting more. They're getting Super R-Type, Battletoads, and Battle Maniacs, Marvelous Motooshu, no Takarayima, and Wrecking Crew 98. I'm full from eating barbecue. Oh man, barbecue sounds delicious. I did have some sausage today, just following the old keto regimen. So that's from Niche Gamer. Let's see. Can I make this bigger? I mean, this is the YouTube. I can. Let me see how that. Okay, that works on your guys' end. We'll mute it. It's only like 2 minutes. We'll check it out here. So, yeah, Nintendo Switch Online, but apparently only for the Japanese version. Very sunny and not so hot. So this is amazing, Heather Rebecca. Man, that sucks. We're gonna turn up the audio just a little. So it's kind of like your party game sort of thing. I've never been a big fan of the parties. R-Type. Now this one I remember. Nice. Yep, get your power-ups along the way. I still say check out Aerial Fighters. I think it's actually Aerial Fighters 2, because I think Aerial Fighters is just the arcade version. Good game. Remember playing that game all the time back in my old Pizza Hut. They had an arcade there. They had King of the Monsters, another good one, and Aerial Fighters. All right, so this is Wrecking Crew 98. I can see how that can be kind of addicting. I'm kind of skipping up here a little bit. Okay, so apparently that's the only one. But then why did it list like the Battletoads stuff? Why did it list the Battletoads but then not show Battletoads? Like right here. Battletoads and Battle Maniacs. Well, I have another one. Another article that we could check out. Maybe they'll have that in there. So this is from Crypto Politan. Cryptopolitan? I don't know why that word is throwing me for a loop, but because I want to say politician, but there's no I in there. I think it's politan. Anyway, Nintendo surprises gamer with untypical retro SNES classic for Switch Online subscribers. I do have this up, right? Yeah. So with believers in retro gaming, the reason I'm bringing this up, by the way, is because with Nintendo, with the whole like Yazoo, the Switch emulator, and like Nintendo cracking down on like piracy and emulation and all that bullshit. I'm bringing this up just because it's like, is there really a big cry out for these specific games? See, that's the thing. Is Nintendo listening to the fan base of what games they would want to see if they would pay for a subscription? And if you're doing it, are you doing it properly with having a version that's pretty much hasn't been touched in any way, shape, or form? Are they doing that? Because that's the a lot of reasons why people want to like get it elsewhere. Like they don't want to pay for a subscription. They don't want to, have a third-rate version of it too. Because there's been people that've explained it way better than me that've gone out of their way to showcase different versions of officially released digital versions of like old games, and some of them like aren't good. Like it's worse. Like the coloring is different and all that stuff. Komanga says Suyu has replaced Yuza. See, I even made a video about this. I made a video saying like, dude, Nintendo, emulation isn't going anywhere. You pretty much are fighting against the internet because there's going to be someone out there who does not care and they will figure out a way to replicate your software and your hardware in code and put it online for people to use. It's just going to happen. And then that brings like another uh more questions about like soft modding, hard modding your your system. To is it illegal to mod your system that you bought that you own and put like RetroArch on it? Is that illegal? Cuz it's your system. You bought it. You can do whatever the fuck you want with it. I mean, there's literally videos of people, those remember those videos back in the day when there would be people that would be filming themselves standing in line for the newest console. They would get it and then smash it right in front of everybody. Like they would waste their money doing that. They It was retarded, but they could do it. See, like if you watch Legal Mindset, I'm sure he says explained it really really well, and I can't do I can't do that justice here. But I know copyright's different over there than it is from here. But they're coming at this at a point to where if there was a major video game industry like Nintendo, for example, or I guess more so a company, not an industry, but if there was a video game company that had the mindset of, say, for example, South Park, where Trey and Matt really don't care that their stuff gets pirated and illegally streamed and that stuff, they know that they're getting exposed. Like they're getting exposure. Can you imagine a giant video game company with that mindset of not cracking down on people left and right super hard, but like just be like, you know what, that's more exposure for us. Let's go, sort of thing. And as much as these people don't want to admit it, there are studies out there that they try to bury deep to where people who usually pirate stuff are the ones that actually buy the most stuff anyway. It's been proven. Can you imagine that? That would be insane. You would be like the king because it would show that you don't let that bother you. You see it as an opportunity. But anyway, so subscribers of Switch can download their favorite games from the amazing The games that we just listed. Okay, now this is saying it it's just whoever. The first article made it seem like it was just Japanese only. Maybe it was Japanese only, and then now the U.S. version came out. But anyway, back in the day, these vintage titles, which may be unknown to many, constitute a diverse selection of genres from the time of the 16-bit era. Amazing Hebereke is a funny four-player battle royale game having adorable but deadly creatures. First, it came out in '94 in Japan for friends to use to use different fighting techniques and construct their stages. Then you got Super R-Type, is a hard side-scrolling shmup. Really? Does anyone out there ever say for a shoot 'em up a shmup? Like, oh my gosh, shmup. I hate to say, okay, I know that when I grew up, we had lingo that we would say, but a lot of our lingo still carried on, like from the past, like "What's up?" "Hey, dude," "Cool," "Bitchin'." But like, I swear, the slang of this generation is so retarded. It's so stupid. I've never heard of shmup before. And I'm sure someone out there is gonna be like, "Well, you're not a hardcore person because I know what shmup is." Sure you do. Chaos meshes, Zoomer lingo, exactly. So Avatar, wait, what? Avatar is a R9 ship's commander whose duty is to battle the invading Baidu Empire. Oh, that's the main guy, I guess. I was like, who the fuck is Avatar? There are 7 stages full of enemies, obstacles, and massive bosses. Understanding the arsenal of power ups and upgradable weapons will make the difference between life and death in a video game, mind you. Uh oh. Excuse me. So, completing this group is Wrecking Crew 98, an updated compilation of the original Wrecking Crew. See, that Wrecking Crew looks pretty cool. I'm not a big puzzle game sort of guy. Like, I can do Tetris, like, that's fine. Maybe if I tried like Yoshi's Cookie or something like that, I would probably think it's fine too. But I don't go out of my way to get these sort of games. So I don't know. Again, who is asking for these games? That's what I want to know. And again, it goes back to like, is Nintendo actually listening to their fan base? Because has it like who asked like Super R Type is a okay game. Like that's good. That's fine. But these other ones, it's like, were people really asking for that? X to doubt, in my personal opinion. Okay, so this is why I wanted to talk about this specifically is I want to know what this article is talking about when it mentions preserving gaming history. No, but they listen to Nintendo Treehouse. So the inclusion of such SNES games in the Nintendo Switch Online repository represents an amazing accomplishment for retro wave fans and collectors. I don't believe that for example. See, this isn't. I understand what the article is trying to do, but this isn't. I hate to say it. If you downloaded the ROM, this is nothing new. This is nothing new whatsoever. It's literally the exact same thing. It's in digital form. The only difference is that it's Nintendo. It has that Nintendo seal of approval. That's all it is. And a lot of the times, it could actually the Nintendo version, the official Nintendo version, like nowadays official, not like back in the day official, is probably garbage compared to the original because of licensing issues and all that stuff. So this shows that Nintendo is devoted to the mission of the conservation and preservation of games for the different classic systems from the company's great back catalogs. Okay, I hate to say this. Who wrote this? Okay, Cryptopolitan wrote. Oh, here we go. Joel Oluwatabi. Hate to say it, but no. Nintendo is 100% not interested in keeping and preserving games. They're not. They're not because you literally saw Paradise, literally the website that had rare games that are probably lost in the internet unless some guy who has a lot of time on his hands wants to deep dive to find stuff. But it's gone. It's gone. And you will not release them. You will not release them because you know you're not making any money on them whatsoever. So I know this is more of this guy's opinion stating this, but this is a fantasy idea. This is a delusion. Nintendo 100% is not devoted in conservation and preservation because they're going after people who are literally having a database of their games. The games we actually want are being saved for overpriced remakes. Very good point, Ted Cruz. Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer over on Rumble says. Yeah, very good point. And the big question is, will they be true and keep it the original? No. I was thinking about bringing up an article about rumors about Dead Space 2, but I believe they've officially stated that they're not doing a Dead Space 2 remake because the sales didn't meet up to their expectation. I can give you a hint why is because people pointed out like retarded shit in the background of like a poster of some guy standing there doing something, now replaced with a black person doing it. Does it affect the game really in the end? No. But why change it to begin with? The main thing, of course, was defeminizing like the main characters and making them look disgusting. Nintendo has dollar vision. Yep. Yes, they do. Here we go. Nintendo has always wanted to draw a solid line between its classic games as a heritage and with modern contemporary players getting to enjoy. Well, there's your problem right there. The modern contemporary players that you're talking about do not care about Nintendo. They don't care about it. I was born in 1988. The video game industry should be listening to people like me. And I'm not saying that to boast and gloat about that stuff because there are way more hardcore gamers out there than me. What I'm saying is my age, I'm the demographic. I am the demographic that you should be trying to appeal to because they have been in there the longest. They have invested in the video game industry. They have invested into it. And what we're seeing now with the whole DEI, the diversity bullshit and stuff like that, and the localization, we'll get to that here shortly with Capcom. You're pushing people like me away from the industry because they're looking at it and going, this wasn't a problem back in the day. And if there was problems, it was kept behind the scenes and dealt with hopefully accordingly and fairly. But now you have determined that behind the scenes bullshit needs to be brought up front. And you're listening to a bunch of weirdos who aren't the demographic, who don't care about the video game industry, who just see an opportunity for clout to infiltrate, to bastardize and destroy it, just so at the end of the day they can say, I did that. I left my stamp of approval because they can't find it anywhere else. So Doug Bowser, president of Nintendo of America, said that. Unfortunately, Doug, you are wrong. We hope to make sure more and more fans can relive these masterpieces on the new Nintendo Switch Online service, which will allow players to enjoy the release of these games on modern hardware. I can literally enjoy these games on modern hardware for free. I don't even need to pay a subscription. I wouldn't mind paying a subscription if I'm getting the games that I want. Now, we could say that between Microsoft, Sony, and Nintendo, maybe Nintendo's catalog has the best classics that you can get. But if I'm someone who has the original copy, followed Nintendo, bought it again on eShop, and now that's closed, and now has to pay a subscription again for the same game I have theoretically 2 copies of, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to do that at all. See, it's the industry has gotten to the point where they're catering to either little kids, which is fine. I understand. But then you're going to have certain games that isn't going to be like, your puzzle games, your Mario games. Like, let's be real here. Mario has violence in it. You can try to cutes it up however you want. Mario has violence into it. The original Mario, if you knew Japanese and read the booklet, Bowser kidnaps Princess Toadstool, Princess Peach, because she knows the spell to undo the evil spell that he did that turned Toad people into blocks. So when you're hitting a block, you're theoretically killing Toad people. So you have that going on. Then you have yourself stomping on Goombas, and the Hammer Brothers. Like, that's violence. Hate to say it, it's violence. Kids and casuals, yeah. Well, I wouldn't even say casuals. I would say kids and the fringe. We're gonna remake this game. Well, you need to make it to where the females look more masculine because that can offend trans people. Oh, okay, okay. No, eat my ass. You don't like it? Don't fucking buy the game. Don't play it. Get out. Get out. Make your own damn game. And I think I was watching Flashcast last night, and one of the guests brought out listed a bunch of people who were gay, but they were awesome because their sexuality didn't matter. It was not part of the game. It was just extra information that you just knew. It was not part of the story. I've said this before. The reason why these people are targeting established franchises and bastardizing them is that they think that by just slapping, well, we made this person gay and unattractive and all this stuff, so it should be making money. It doesn't make money. And they know that. They know that. That's why they're not going out and making games based on these criterias, because it doesn't sell. Now, I also have a theory of, if I were to say this, someone could probably point to me and say, "Look at The Last of Us Part 2. That had a bunch of progressivism in this, and it won all these awards and made all this money because they sold it. They made a bunch of good sales." Look at what Kuckerman's doing now. Look, when someone asked him, "Hey, are you planning to make more games?" Nah, I think I'm pretty much done with the video game industry. There you go. If it sells decently, it's not going to stay for long. Make sure to leave a like on this video if you're enjoying the rant. Make sure to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified. Old people trying to be hip, and yet The Last of Us Part 2 was a mess. It was garbage. Dude, I did not care about Abby in the sense of everyone complaining about her feature and like how she looked. Yes, it's unrealistic because she literally had to have been taking steroids and stuff to be that built during a post-apocalyptic era. Like, that's just a no-brainer. But if The Last of Us Part 2 was all of Abby's story and Joel and Ellie had nothing to do with it, I would have been fine with it. I 100% would have been fine with it. But no, they had to bring back the original characters, and they had to shit on Joel and have him do things that the Joel from Part 1 would never do, like dropping his name, like just telling his name to a complete stranger right away in the beginning. That was so fucking stupid. It's been a long time since I played that game. For some reason I tried looking up. I thought I left it on my YouTube. I know I streamed it, but I couldn't find it. That was back when I was fucking fat, but whatever. I'll play the classics before buying anything new. I think everyone should play the classics. Now, the classic is a very general term because everybody's classics are different, but I agree. The fringe don't even play video games or care about it. Yep. That's what I said. They all want they're doing it for clout, that in some way, shape, and form, that their name gets remembered. And the thing is that the people in power will not like you think the people in power will make sure to let people know of future generations that you played a huge part on impacting the video game industry? No, they will not. Fat like a cue ball. Indeed, except more white because I'm the whitest person that you'll ever meet. Oh my gosh, but we're still on this article here. Let's see. Now we have a fresh stock of SNES arrivals available for the members of Nintendo Switch. This might just be padding here. Let me see. Yeah, they're telling you subscriptions and stuff like that. Oh, we're not too much. What's this? The rarest Saiyan in Dragon Ball overshadows Broly's legendary status. Uh-oh. I'm distracted. What is this talking about? Cue balls are white though, right? Yeah, I'm just saying that like take a cue ball and amplify that whiteness by like 100-fold. And then maybe you'll get close to me. Because I got everything going for me. I'm a ginger. I have light skin. I will blind you if light gets shine upon my skin. Well, that's not loading, so rip that. I wanted to see what this was all about. Oh, now it loads. Broly is considered the rarest Saiyan in Dragon Ball by the majority of the fandom, and for good reason. He is one of the strongest fights. He is one of the strongest fights in the series. You mean fighters? Even in his base form, he can also transform into one of the rarest Super Saiyan transformation, the quote legendary Super Saiyan. Oh God, his DBZ autism is kicking in. It is. I need to resist. But now why is this saying Trunks is the rarest? Okay, if they're gonna go into like the Saiyan hybrids and stuff, yeah, like the hybrids are the best kind of mixture. But we are sidetracking here. We are sidetracking. I shan't get into it. There I am. Look how beautiful I look. I need to get a better camera, but whatever. We can only do so much. All right, next up. We're going to do something that is rather recent that I think is absolutely hilarious. And that is former Blizzard boss suggests players should be able to, quote, tip devs after finishing a game. I cannot wait to hear what this is about. There's nothing wrong with being a white cheese puff. Dude, white cheese puffs are good. Anyway, the former Blizzard president said most will dislike this idea, but I want to know his reasoning why he thinks players should be able to tip devs. So speaking on X, Yubara said, "When I beat a game, there are some that just leave me in awe of how amazing the experience was." Okay, I can relate. I've often thought I wish I could give these folks another $10 or $20 because it was worth more than my initial 70%, and they didn't try to nickel and dime me every second. Oh, piss off. I do not believe you for a fucking second. Dude, no. I have never, ever, ever once thought that these folks need to be tipped an extra $10 or $20. I am sorry. Indie developers, that's a whole different realm. But the AAA studios, go fuck yourself, dude. The way you've been bastardizing the entire industry, fuck no. You guys don't deserve any tips whatsoever. I watch most of my videos on YouTube in 480p. Dude, some people still like that. That's why I don't do like 4K stuff. Mostly because I don't have like 4K monitors or whatever, but it's pointless. Oh my gosh. But this seriously, really? Now, I'll make this clear as well. I used to be an Uber delivery person, Uber, Grubhub, whatever. That was my main source of income for like a year and a half. So I understand that when it comes to certain field jobs, tip is necessary. Obviously, waitering and waitresses, they need the tips. Don't be a douchebag. I understand that sometimes the service cannot be up to par, but if it's not up to par, pay the bare minimum. If it's good, pay the normal. If you want to be generous, pay the more. I understand that. But this right here, man, those devs deserve more than 10 and 20. If they're making a steady, lively income, that's enough. Sorry. Hate to say it. Hate to say it. Because I have a feeling this is going to tie in, like, this could possibly tie into the stupid, like, oh, it's crunch time. And then, like, crunch time being like, oh, we're under such pressure because we got to meet this. You mean a deadline? A deadline that many, many jobs have? I have deadlines. All right, but let's see what else he gives it. Okay, so as of can we actually like okay, so this is can you guys see that on my end? Oh no, you can't. I opened up the recent like tweet. I opened up his tweet just to see what it is. It's still at 758 like hearts, I guess, on X. So literally like there's someone liked it not too long ago. So Yubara is quick to point out in the same post that most will dislike this idea and that we are tired of tipping and everything else, but I view this different from a pressure to tip type scenario. Yubara lists games such as Horizon Zero Dawn. Wasn't that garbage? God of War. Which one? The OG ones? I paid my game. I paid for that already. Or are you talking about Ragnarok or the first one? Yeah, they were I haven't played Ragnarok yet. The first one was okay. Red Dead Redemption 2. So what? I still like Red Dead Redemption 1. Baldur's Gate 2? You mean Baldur's Gate 3? Dude, this is Video Game Chronicles. What are you talking about, Baldur's Gate 2? I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Baldur's Gate 3. And Elden Ring. Well, Elden Ring, out of all those games that he listed, I think Elden Ring is the one that I think is the most you could declare that like you could go beyond by being like, yeah, I really love this game. Here you go. Like whatever, but still. The cancellation of Dead Space 2 remake is both good and bad. Bad because it's EA, good because I don't want to see my favorite horror series get molested more. Yep. Well, I did see that. I didn't read. Supposedly it's because the sales weren't good that they're not going to do it. Or maybe it's because people didn't like what you did with the first one and like changing things that did not need to be changed. Anyway, while many independent developers have virtual tip jars, yeah, there you go. Tip jars or ways to donate to the studio. It's a rarity in big budget gaming. Exactly. It's because it is the same thing. This to me is like a voice actor going out of their way to saying, hey, like, give me a tip for voice acting this character. Uh, Number one, if you want more money, then you need to negotiate your contract and get like royalties added onto it or something like that if you want more money. I would say get unionized, but fuck unions. So whatever. But this to me is like kind of the same argument of like voice actors who are against anime pirating because it hurts them. It doesn't hurt them. You got paid the minute you got done voicing that, acting. You got paid. That was it. If you didn't like that payment, then you should have negotiated better or had your agency negotiate it better. All right. So a user responding to Yubara suggested that if one was to enjoy a game that much, they could gift a friend that game on Steam, thus buying it twice. This generation of home consoles Saw publishers raise prices to $70 in the majority of cases, citing economic changes and skyrocketing development costs. Well, I know how to lower that. Number one, you can thank Biden economics for that, for the economy change. Number two, for the skyrocketing development cost, stop making glorified walking simulators. Stop paying for an actor to be in the game. A lot of people really, the truth be told, they don't want to pay for a game to where you get to play as an actor. They're paying for a game because they want to play as a character. This is where it's slowly starting to become. Now, I've talked with Ruben Langdon and stuff like that, but it's not like Ruben who does motion capturing and the voice for Dante. It's not like does Ruben look like Dante? In some cases, yeah, but it's still Dante, you know? And that's a huge difference between Ruben and Norman Reedus, from Death Stranding. Huge difference, huge difference. And I like Norman, by the way. But yeah, some of these games, a lot of the motion capturing, no one cares about the actor. We're not paying because we want to play as so and so inside the game. I didn't buy what was it? The I didn't buy the Call of Duty with Kevin Spacey into it because Kevin Spacey was in the game. Norman who? Reedus? Norman Reedus, the guy who plays Daryl in Walking Dead. Walking simulators are killing AAA gaming. They're throwing too much cutscenes into there. That's nice if you need to use a cutscene to explain the story, but it doesn't need to be a whole like movie. However, players have routinely expressed frustration at companies charging that much for games and then implementing microtransactions on top of the $70 fee. Yeah, exactly. Aware of the backlash from players, some publishers have launched microtransactions stores post release, seemingly in an effort for them not to be highlighted as part of the review process from media. However, this hasn't always been successful. Recently, Tekken players expressed huge frustration to developer Namco Bandai for the introduction of the Tekken Fighting Pass. Azora's Wrath is the ultimate cinematic game. No walking sims needed. Yeah, they balanced it perfectly. That's a perfect example of a game being balanced just right. And it wasn't a character like a famous actor that that you were playing as. So Uabar's former employer Blizzard largely operates on a subscription. I don't give a shit. Card packs in Hearthstone. I've been playing Hearthstone for free. Pretty good at it. All right, but let me know in the comments, guys, what you guys think about this, about even suggesting the idea that developers should be tipped. I don't think so. You're making a video game. You're literally a cog in the wheel. Hate to say it too. You're a cog in the wheel. You got paid what you should, whatever you agreed to. That's it. You're not going above and beyond. Now, if there was a video game developer who like went behind like the CEO's back or something and was like, "Yeah, we gotta make this, we gotta wokeify this in some way, shape, or form," and the guy secretly didn't do it and then just passed it off and no one said anything, I definitely tip that guy. That guy would be a hero. I barely tip anything. Very rude. Whatever. All right. Well, let's get to the main topic here, and that is with Capcom and their stupid localization bullshit that's been going on for the past couple days here. I made a comment on it. We'll see the tweet here in a second. Okay, for some what the StreamYards, there we go. Rebounding into comments, Capcom attempts to run PR for Western localizers, praises in-house team for keeping games, quote, culturally sensitive. Fuck you. And, quote, promotive, inclusivity. Oh my gosh, inclusivity. Inclusivity. What the fuck? Promoting inclusive shit through language and representation. Inclusivity. Inclusivity. Inclusivity? Whatever. I don't care. Dude, oh, it's going to bother the crap out of me. But anyway, whatever. So, in yet again, throwing their hat into the ongoing discourse surrounding Westerns, localizers, continual disrespecting of Japanese media rather than commenting to ensuring accuracy within their own localizers. Tism's going crazy. Is very going crazy. $70 to buy your game, not a cent more is coming out of my pocket. Yep. So rather than committing to ensuring accuracy within their own localizations, teams work. And you would think it would be so easy. Like, okay, hear me out first. I understand that there are times when, like, a comment on a cultural thing in Japan may not translate or cross over well with America. I understand that. But the wording and stuff like that, you can easily fill the mouth flaps and get the same point across. It's not that difficult. Sorry, it's not. Anyway, Capcom has instead attempted to put a, quote, positive spin on some of the industry's worst practices. Oh boy. Entering the fray on April 11th by way of a lengthy post. Yeah, and so here's the post right here. I made a comment. I pretty much said that I said, and this is probably verbatim. I said, wow, that's a lot of words to simply say, we're here to bastardize your games. So entering the fray on April 11th by way of a lengthy post published to the official Twitter account of their own in-house localization team, the Resident Evil and Mega Man series developer began their PR play by asserting to players, quote, localization isn't about just translating words. Yes, it is. It's about adapting the game for a global audience. No. A global audience? Like the tribes that are still around, they're playing video games. Got to make sure that it's appropriate for them too. Sure. Think cultural nuances, idioms, and regional flair. A good localization makes players feel right at home wherever they are in the world, wherever in the world they are. Say you're playing I don't know, a World War II game. And you are, I don't know, one of the British soldiers or something like that. When I sit there and I go, "Wow, I'm playing a World War II game." Do I go, does the normal person go, "You know what it's missing? It's missing what modern stuff is happening now. It's missing slang like, boomer and zoomer and Gen Z and, you know, transgender and stuff like that." No one does this. If I'm playing a World War II game, I expect to be in that time era of World War II. No matter how offensive you think it is, no matter how horrible you might think it is, that is where the story is taking place. This is fucking stupid. Think of cultural nuances, idioms, and regional flair. Okay, then leave all the offensive stuff in, because that's literally what happened during that time. And if you're changing it, you're censoring it. The guy that wrote this is trying to make localization seem like an art form when it's not. Well, we'll give Spencer a benefit of the doubt here. Anyway, so here's your long list. So I didn't read all this, but you know it's garbage. So not just translation, it's about adapting the game for a global audience. Okay, so they literally quote what he just said. The importance of contents lost in translation, not preserving the vibe is a key. You don't preserve. These guys do not preserve. They do not preserve. Look, in the same line, preserving the vibe is key. Jokes, references, and even gameplay elements might need a little cultural remix. Then you're not preserving it, you piece of shit. Literally, the very next sentence goes against what they're talking about. Oh my gosh. Like I said, I didn't fully read this because I knew it was bullshit. But right there, oh, it's important to find that sweet spot to make sure players get the intended experience without feeling like something got lost in the process. And yet you just said that we've got to remix it. Oh, I wasn't referring to Spencer. I was referring to the tweet. Oh, well, in any case, bridging the linguistic gap. Each language has its unique structure and cultural context. Our team works to ensure the narrative and dialogue maintain coherence and emotional impact. It's not just about the words, it's about capturing the essence of the story in a way that resonates with the target audience. Dude, if the words are written in a specific way to emulate that resonatation, I guess, if you want to say it. I don't even know that's a word, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Then you keep the wording as close as possible. You think prime example, Neon Genesis Evangelion. The wording in that show was very, very important. Props to ADV, like the people who did the first, not the Netflix piece of shit, the original. They did very good keeping it as close as possible to match the mouth flaps. The Resident Evil, LOL. Should have just been called Biohazard. Yeah. Oh, gosh. I didn't realize I'd be going down the whole list, but cultural sensitivity in characters. Character designs and development must be culturally sensitive. No, they shouldn't. Fuck off. What may be acceptable in one culture may not be offensive in another. Then fuck them. Don't buy the game. Don't play it. Localizers play a crucial role in ensuring that characters are relatable and respectable by defeminizing the female form to where luscious boobs are now flat chested, uh, curvy jawlines is now like that prominent masculine chin, crimson chin jawline. Avoiding stereotypes or other references that could be perceived as negative in specific cultures. Dude, this person who wrote out this tweet needs to get fisted. Maybe then they'll open up a little bit more. Inclusive language and representation. Localization efforts extend to promote inclusivity through language and representation. This involves adapting not only the linguistic aspects but also addressing gender specific. How do you? No, you guys know what I would say. Cultural norms and diverse of perspectives. The aim is to create an immersive experience while players from different backgrounds can identify with the character and narrative. Unless you're playing like an RPG, not even an RPG, one of those create a character games. Skyrim. Skyrim. Aside from games like Skyrim, I may be able to relate every now and then to a main character of a video game, but I am not that character. I'm playing as that character, but I am not the character. The emojis in this tweet are pissing you. Oh, it's pissing me off too. So retarded. This can be very challenging for certain language due to grammar. No. Humor. Komanga. Currently playing Skyrim. Humor often relies on cultural references and wordplay, making it a challenging aspect of gaming localizations. Translators must carefully navigate puns, jokes, and cultural references to maintain the intended comedic effect. This requires a deep understanding of the target audience sense of humor while staying true to the original wit. Dude, you guys don't know your target audience whatsoever. In fact, you're targeting the wrong audience. All right, we're almost done here. So, consistency in terminology. Maintaining consistency in terminology is crucial for a smooth and coherent gaming experience. This applies not only to translating words, but also to ensuring that game mechanics, instructions, and lore are consistently representative across language. Establishing a cohesive language system helps prevent confusion and enhancing the overall gaming experiences for players worldwide. I mean, but games have been doing that forever with like subtitles and all that stuff. That's just retarded. Hey, look at that right there. Turning to address the complaint that many Western localizers tend to overwrite a given title's Japanese identity in favor of, quote, appealing to a larger audience, Capcom then affirmed that as far as they were concerned, it was more important to preserve the vibe of a game rather than provide players with an accurate translation of its original source material. Oh, go fuck yourself, Capcom. Lost in translation? Nah, preserving the vibe is key, declared the Devil May Cry developer. Jokes, references, and even gameplay elements might need a little cultural remix. It's important to find the sweet spot to make sure players get the intended experiences without feeling like something got lost in the process. No one has ever declared that something got lost in the process. Like the things that got lost that would get lost in the process is literally the censorship. Censorship has done everything. Getting rid of like crucifixes or whatever in games from the past, censoring the blood, censoring the language. Everything is censorship. That's where it gets lost. Uh, each language has its unique structure and cultural context, they added. Our teams work to ensure the narratives and dialogues maintain coherence and emotional impact. It's not just about words, it's about capturing the essence of the story in a way that resonates with the target audience. From there, Capcom moved to run defense for the ever increasing trend on video games being censored out of difference to the feelings of the most extreme of Western socio-political activists, arguing the player's character designs and development must be culturally sensitive. No, it doesn't. What may be acceptable in one culture might be offensive in another. Who cares? Then screw them. You think there's cultures out there that like Christianity? No. Everyone hates Christianity. Do I get offended by it? No, because it's to be expected. Because scripture actually says you're going to be a target of the world. Oh my goodness. Localizers play a crucial role in ensuring that characters are relatable and respectful, avoiding stereotypes or other references that could be perceived as negative in specific cultures. To this end, the company behind the Street Fighter franchise further detailed that their quote cultural localization efforts also extend to promoting inclusivity through language and representation. Dude, that word. Okay, I'm looking this up right now because it is bothering the crap out of me. Inclusivity. There we go. All right, I was kind of right. Inclusivity. Anyway, this involves adapting not only the linguistic aspects but also addressing gender-specific language. Oh, okay, they're just pretty much restating what they bounding into comics, doing what they normally do, is trying to pad the article here by just repeating what's up here. Yeah, they're just literally repeating what was in there. Let's see. So interestingly, as noted above, this is not the first time Capcom, whose own history of international censorship includes covering up Ashley and Ada's default outfits in Resident Evil 4 remake, editing out Japanese Rising Sun imagery from E Honda stage in the Capcom Fighting Collection release of Street Fighter 2, and completely removing Armika's butt slap from her Super Arts animation in Street Fighter 5 has attempted to run defense for their localization practice. So apparently, in a 2023 social sustainability statement, oh, excuse me. Published to their official investor relations page, the company argued that, quote, depending on the country, simply translating games developed under Japanese norms can end up hurting users unexpectedly due to historical, religious, or cultural differences. Who cares? Dude, who cares? If I am playing a game that is taking place in Japan, I expect to see Japanese culture. I may not get it, but it may motivate me to go out and see what it's talking about. For heaven's sakes. Dude, these people treat you like you're fucking idiots. As such, they said we focus on employing staff from around the world to culturalize the game so that it can be enjoyed by all, regardless of locale. There's the butt slap about to happen, and there we go. Yeah, stupid. So any sort of thing, everything that they fear about, like the gamer not getting it or not understanding or this or that, it all actually stems from this censorship. No, 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 no. The censorship is good. It makes things so people can understand it easier. No, it's actually quite the opposite. You're assuming that your customer is weak spirited, shallow minded, and stupid. And so you have to downgrade the game to make it so where it's understandable for them. That's what they're doing. Well, in any case, it's pretty much all I had. Let's wrap up here by doing the comments. So many companies have gone out of their way to make sure I know that they won't want my business anymore and have no interest in making anything for me. I'm grateful for this. What's really despicable is the bait and switch tactic. Exactly. It's the bait and switch tactics. That was from Bunny with a Keyboard. Interesting. Stop buying games from corporations that hate you and have an agenda. There are plenty of indie developers that want your business. Very true. Very true. This is not PR from their localizers. This is Capcom's company practice. They are admitting to censoring and wokeifying their games. Give them money funds this behavior. Yep. Rip Capcom here. I was hoping for a Resident Evil remake, but with this attitude, I can only see a woke disaster in the making. Vocalizers are not human beings and shouldn't be seen or treated as such. Isn't that what the woke left always says about everyone who disagrees with them? I'm just using their own tactics against them. Yep. That was spicy moostard. Moostard. I love that. It's an awesome name. Angry rodent. I like the names. The judging crow from Capcom to Crapcom. Mike Smith's sex drive. The giggling stoner. Dude, I love the names. There are no words in any language sufficient to describe how much I despise these people. Dude, that's a good one. And here I am giggling like a stoner. Won't bend the knee. Very, very based. Canadian rebel. Well, Capcom is dead. Ted. Capcommunist. Very good. The rusty nail. Ooh, that sounds like a shot. An alcohol shot. Keep going, Capcom. We will see your workers soon as the streets ask for a change. Daniel is a cat. Next announcement. Capcom will announce that Mega Man is being killed off in favor of Roll taking his place, and she's now going to be depicted as a middle-aged lesbian, a quote non-binary woman. Apparently, giggling stoner has been frequently the comments here. Oh man, that is too good. Well, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Like, definitely Capcom is garbage, but this localization code that they have going on is definitely killing the games. It hurts it more than it helps it. And yeah, let me know in the comments below. I'll bet you $50 that the Capcom CEO listens to these people at the very beginning and says yes immediately. Greed is their Bible. Yep. All right. Well, we are dipping off for tonight, but thank you for hanging out and checking out some articles here in the Power Up podcast. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button and turn on notifications to get notified when I go live, whether that's a solo show or with a guest or streaming. We've been doing some Onimusha, and we'll be starting up some new games here shortly. And just keep me in your prayers and stuff like that, because I've been fighting off depression and a bunch of stuff, trying to keep myself motivated, but it's really hard to do. So could definitely use that. Good night, bro. Good night, Ted Cruz, Zodiac Killer. Let me go ahead and do some redirects here. Let's see. Oh, Nina's on. Nina's good. And then, all right, that should be it. All right, thanks, you guys. You have a good rest of your night. It was cool, even though it hurt listening to these freaks again. Oh, yeah. But yeah, you guys have a good rest of your night. Take care. God bless. Catch you on the flip side. Peace.